Hello everybody, and welcome back to another fine episode here at the Artist's Corner, where I, Mr. Dave Joyner, bring you fine drawing tutorials on a semi-regular basis. Today, let me just adjust my camera here. So today I am working on trees and mountains for this Loch Ness Monster illustration. So we're going to go ahead and come in here to the pine forest, and we got to remember that we kind of get into, I get into almost like a meditative state when I'm doing overly repetitious art. This particular kind of illustrating for me is fun. It's like there's sort of there's a level of like not surrealism, but it's definitely a gesture of a tree. It's not really a tree. I'm not drawing pine needles, and the more organic this looks, the more random it looks, the better. So I don't really have like a in stone pencil illustration down there. I allow myself the freedom of really kind of going off track, and if I'm the only important thing here is to remember that as I get further away, the gesture has to change. It has to become more and more so like these trees up here I'm going to put a little time into, but there's a shadow behind this tree that is actually part of this tree and this tree, and it's down in here. Our light source is coming from this way. So this tree over here, if I was to go in and overly if like this here is almost too much, but there's some pencil in here I have to erase still. So I'm going to go ahead and bring it in just a little. There it is. And I'm not going to bring the edge all the way to this tree, because if I do, then it's just going to start to look like it's going to lose the illusion that there's another tree here, and it's just going to start to look like I'm going to lose the design pattern. And then we got this tree here, and as we get further away, I'm just less and less concerned with getting branches in. I was watching a oil painting YouTube tutorial earlier today, and I was cross comparing the differences between illustration and oil painting. And I mean, I'm kind of biased, but I personally think that illustration is harder than landscape oil painting. So illustrated landscape is harder than illustrated than oil paint. Seems like oil painting is what you do when, because no matter, see, like this stuff here, all these little lines, I didn't know I was going to put it there, but it's in stone now. You know, I can't just go back and erase that line. This stuff's there. And I'm just going to go ahead and just put in a little baby evergreen tree right there, just because I feel like it, and maybe another little one right there. Just little tiny trees.
Leave it alone. Stop ripping it.
And we're going to bring some bushes in here, because I know that we've got grasses. Some of the grasses can be tall, but it's bushes too. These are so far away that it can be bushes, it can be grass. It's too far away. Okay, and I'll show you what I mean. Let's go ahead and zoom out real quick. And I'll show you. This is really a small area on the page. It's really tiny. Okay, so those trees are only that big. And as you can see over here, from the this is, sorry about my camera shaking. So you can see right here, that's like the as tall as my finger, the end of my finger. And because I did not bring the edge of my gesture, this is like a gesture for evergreen tree. Anyway, but so I didn't bring that edge all the way over, and I didn't bring this edge all the way over, and I didn't bring this edge all the way over. So there's an area in between, and that little bit of area there, and there, where I did not. That really allows for the depth. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and zoom back in. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get the pencil back out again. Okay, so I'm just using a regular mechanical. This is a, what does that say? 05, no, 09. So I use a kind of a large lead because I press down, and you can see this all these lines in here were made with a large lead pencil. So now we're going further into the distance. So this has got to become less and less defined the further away we go. So we're just sort of making that line, but I'm not going to go any more detailed than that. And you can see, I'm sort of bringing the trees down like that because I'm following a water line. It's going to run down and behind, down back there. So I'm not going to go all the way down. I'm not going to. The shortest tree and the furthest away is going to be right about there. So that's as far away as I'm going. I'm just going to go ahead, and we can leave gaps. Okay, I'm going to leave a little gap here because the trees aren't growing perfectly uniform with each other. So we're going to leave a little gap. And this tree can kind of stand alone. You got to be very conscious that you're not doing the exact same tree every time. Alright? I know that trees seem to be a big subject for some people. And also, if we want to come in here, we can put a we can start putting in non-evergreen. So you may have noticed on the other side of over there on the other side of the page is a different kind of tree. And so we had tree branches. I might put some tree branches in here. This might be a nice place to start putting in a different kind of tree. And maybe up in here too. Maybe we got tree branches coming out. So, and we can make that a little more defined. And then I'm going to go ahead and we're going to go shorter now and further away. This tree over here is going to be really tiny, but it's going to be big. So you gotta remember, kind of really allow it. You're going to have lots of little back and forth, back and forth. The number of branches on this tree, the more you can squeeze in there. And sometimes I'll even change pen sizes. You see, this here is about an 0.1, and I'm thinking I might go all the way down to a 0.55. So just so that I can get in that level of number of branches.
Stand up.
And then we're going to have some more trees down in here. But I'm going to go ahead and start really bringing in the gestures. So we're going to start clumping trees together at this point. So at this distance, we've got really far away trees.
No, you're not taking it off.
So we can go ahead and put a little tree right there. Another one there. we know we've got trees up in here.
So close to me.
So this is a mountain's edge, so we can go ahead and make the trees. This is like, you can see originally I came in here and made really big lines like that, but that's not realistic, because really these trees are so far away that they're going to be little itty bitty jagged lines. They're not going to be big tall jagged lines. And they're going to go up and down because the hill goes up and down. So you can imagine like an EKG reader or something. It's going to have those little lines going up and down, and it's in a distance. And also, this is you can see that there's little trees coming down in this way, because this is not a linear flat surface. So we can have trees coming down like this, and then we can have a shadow behind here. Okay? But this is like a ridge. This is a ridge line. And so I'm going to go ahead and bring this line down like this, and like this. Okay? Try not to be... I can see a pattern starting to develop here, and I don't like it. So I'm going to try to obliterate it with extra trees in here. Bring the line in. Another tree here. You can even go in and put a flat surface like that, and then put another little tree in the distance right there. Okay?
Really, David? Now no larva.
Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and please join me back again where we will continue with this ridge line and more mountains in here. I'm going to try to finish off the pencils today, and after I finish off with the pencils, here, let's zoom out, we can show you. So we're going to go ahead, and you can see I've already got this also is a ridge line. And this one's super duper far away. So from here to there. Okay? And this is the top of the mountain, way in the distance. So that's what we're going for here. From there to there. And then we'll come back with another episode where we can do some more inking in here. Please join me again here at the Artist Corner, your friendly neighborhood illustrator, Mr. Dave Joyner.